Hello everyone and welcome back to When the Dust Settle. My name is Pico Conway and today I want to talk to you about politics. I know there are many things happening around the world that we all want to talk about, but today I want to talk about politics, and particularly I want to focus on Africa and talk about elections in the oldest African country. For those of you who don't know, the oldest independent African country is Liberia in West Africa. That's my country of birth. You know, people from Liberia, I know that everybody is focused on the runoff elections that are going to be taking place between George Weah, who's the incumbent president, and the former Vice President Boikai. The two men will be going to a runoff because in Liberia, the winner of the elections has to have 50% plus one to win elections. So both candidates, President George Weah of the Congress for Democratic Change and Joseph Boikai of the Unity Party, both guys have scored close to 44% of the vote each. So they'll be going to a runoff. But that is not what I'm going to focus on right now. I know that's why every Liberian is focusing on the rerun. But I want to give kudos to the Elections Commission in Liberia. You know, Liberia, in the past, we have had elections that have been very terrible. Terrible elections because the elections officials were manipulated, but were not doing what they needed to do, especially so the elections that happened in 1985. And right after the elections, like right out of coup d'etat, where Thomas going by and his folk wanted to came to overthrow Doe, but they failed. And the justification for that coup d'etat was that the elections were fraudulent. So while people are talking about, most Liberians are talking about the rerun, I'm talking about right now that we all should praise the Elections Commission for the work they have done. One of the things I was so impressed about, especially for me, I work at the polls in the United States 3 different times in legislative elections, House elections, local elections, 3 times in the state of Delaware. So I know when elections are well run, I know. Those guys did a very good job. Even if they did a good job planning, the whole planning process, the voter process and everything went well. Even first in the history where you can just go online, browse the internet and you see the results, live results as the way it's been updated. You don't got to go ask somebody on Facebook, YouTube, and other things what the result, calling your brothers or sister and see what the results are. You can just go right online and see the results right from there. That is commendable. I think Liberians, instead of focusing on who's going to win the next elections, which of course I don't focus on because Liberia be so excited about who's going to win elections, but right after the elections are over, when the problems that the country has, becomes real, those people who win most of the time, they don't have the qualification. And one of my friends was just telling me that Liberians have the reputation of elected people who are criminal-minded, but I think you are going to the extreme. You can't just say everybody who is being elected, everybody that is being elected to Liberia are criminals. But he tried to give me some example. He said, look, I met President Johnson. President Johnson was accused of war crimes and stuff like that, but he's senator for Nimba County. Charles Taylor was accused and now in jail in The Hague, but Liberia elected him by almost 75% of the vote in 2007. Look at people like Zoe Peno and other guys. He started in the midst of corrupt guys. He talked about Ellis Tyler, who they say is not going to win in I think Bowman County as senator. All these guys are guys who don't have, who have bad reputation, criminals, or guys who are being accused of being corrupt. He talked about Edward Snow. Edward Snow was LPRC and a Liberian, I think, oil refinery company or something. And the guy squandered most of the money, but the people that elected him to the House, he said Liberians have bad reputation. They always elect people with criminal records, but then they want good results. That's my friend's view. He might be right. Some of the things he's talking about might be right. He also talked about how we accuse Ellen of supporting the war against Doe, but then we also after we elected Taylor, we elected Ellen for 2 terms in Liberia. But we want better results. So what I'm saying is, we when the elections are over, either when George Weah wins or Boikai wins, I'm not going to be excited, because I want to see what they can do. That's where my focus is going to be. What can they do? What big plans they have for Liberia? That when I start to see, I will start to judge them and say, yes, okay, this guy, he's good for. But until that, that is not my focus. My focus is Liberians should praise, the Liberians should give kudos to the Elections Commission. The Elections Commission, the folks that work at the Elections Commission, they have done a very good job. My only thing I saw when I was on the website to get most of the get the result is that the website, maybe because it got too much user, people going online to see the results, the website was very slow. It's hard to navigate from one part of the website to another. It's hard for the website to load. But that is just a bump in the road. That is just a little thing that they can address. So for now, I just want to use this opportunity as somebody who always on YouTube, as somebody who's trying to be a YouTuber, influencer. I just want Liberians to really praise these guys, tell them what the mistakes were, which of course I know there was some minor mistake, because to run elections where you get almost close to 2.5 million people participating, that's a small country participating in the elections, that they will have some shortcomings. But the shortcomings that we have in this election, I can say it didn't go anywhere to undermine the integrity of these elections. I don't know what the international observers are going to come up with, what they're going to say about these elections. I'm sure we observing the elections from outside. All I'm saying is I'm seeing the results from the website. You can go to the website, you click on the see how George Weah, how is Boikai, and Jeremiah Wapo and Apiton and Cummins and the other guys, how they doing? And it's just two horse race right now. So the Election Commission in Liberia, NEC, National Elections Commission in Liberia, has done a tremendous job. Good job. We should be proud of ourselves, because, and one thing we got to know is, the more we have elections, the better our system becomes. The better the Election Commission, will improve on the mistakes. So we came from 2000, we came from 1985, although the elections were terrible, as people said, but this is what I can say about 2000, that's the 1985 elections. Why it's true that the election was terrible, it was the step in the right direction. We could improve on our mistakes instead of going to war to solve our political problems. So I was talking to somebody in Liberia, saying, oh, the people are afraid in Liberia, they're going to be war. There want to be war in Liberia when the elections are glaringly fraudulent. And people can see, I know they're not going to be war. Let me just negate that whole fact. There's not going to be war. People will not be certified when the election is glaringly and fraudulent. That's the only thing. But Liberia is not going to go to war because somebody didn't win the elections. Liberia are bigger than that. We went through 15 years of war. We elected people who we thought, as I was talking about Charles Taylor and other group, who we thought could change the Liberia. But what did they do? They didn't do anything that improved the lives of our people. Today, as I said, I just want to talk about, I just want to praise and commend the Elections Commission for the remarkable job they have done and they are continuing to do. And we hope that they will climax the process with the rerun next month. Every Liberian too should help the process and make sure that the Elections Commission, you bring to their attention problems that you think you say that they can work on. Folks, you are watching the Dust Settle on YouTube. My name is Pico Conway. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will talk to you when I talk to you. We'll all be watching to see what's going to happen next, who's going to win, whether it's going to be George Weah going to get another 6 years or Boikai going to get his first term. Thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you when I talk to you. Bye for now.